Hey guys, and I am in a Fiat 500X. Now, I did actually review this car way back in 2015. That was in the Middle East, and that was actually the all-wheel drive version. It was the 2.4 Tiger Shark engine with 184 horsepower, the 9-speed automatic. But this one, however, is front-wheel drive only. It's a 500X. They call it the Firefly. I love the names that FCA products give their engines. And it's a 1 litre, 999cc, 3-cylinder turbocharged engine. Produces 120 brake horsepower, 190 newton meters of torque. You get a 6-speed manual, and of course it's only driving the front wheels, as I've said. So that gives it a 0 to 62 miles per hour, 0 to 100 kilometers per hour time of 10.9 seconds, and maximum speed of 117 miles per hour, 188 kilometers per hour. Miles per gallon, you're supposed to get about 48.7 miles per gallon, or 5.8 liters per 100. I've been seeing a bit less than that. Maybe I've been driving a bit enthusiastically. The engine does sound good, as you'll find when we're on the go. 133 grams per kilometer CO2 emissions. Now, compared to the car, well, I should just say that basically these cars are based on the Jeep Renegade platform. And in fact, they're built at the same factory. And to a lot of people, this is it's for those people that are loyal to the Fiat 500 brand, that probably had the little one and are maybe stepping up to a bigger one because they have a family, or maybe they've just outgrown that one. And I think that that's the way we should sort of approach this car, because if you were looking at pure utility and pure ability, I'd probably go Renegade. But if you're looking at the character, personality of the Fiat 500 in a bigger, more usable package, then you'd look at the Fiat 500X. The car has more luggage space, for example, compared to, although the little Fiat 500 is actually not bad, but even this one, it's 350 up to 350 liters of cargo space there with the seats up. It's got a double floor thing, so you actually can reduce the floor level to give you a little bit more space, a little bit more height for taller objects. And in fact, even when you pull that up underneath there's a cavity with little compartments and areas like that, and I think tire repair toolkit and stuff like that, should you need a little bit more hiding space. What about the rear compartment? Well, that's a big benefit over the regular small Fiat 500, of course, because this does have a proper pair of rear seats, proper rear doors as well. I can get in. I'm 6'2", sitting behind this seat, which is set for me. In that seat back there, not really an issue. I could do with a little bit more space, but like I said, I'm a little bit on the large side and I have long legs, so I have got this seat a bit further back than maybe most people would. But having said that, it's not too much of an issue. The back of the seat is soft, so my knees have room, feet have room, and back there you've also got a USB port and ISOFIX child seat anchor points. Up here at the front, it's a big difference again from the Fiat 500. Something about the left footrest, I think because of the conversion from left-hand drive to right-hand drive, is an issue on that car, and a little bit of an issue on this car. Maybe I just have big feet, but I could do with a little bit more room. There's a bit of protruding central tunnel in there that just robs me of a little bit of space. But otherwise, much better leg room in this one, very well spaced. The seating position is good. It can be adjusted for height, for the incline. The steering too can be adjusted for reach, which is good, as well as rake. And again, because I sit quite far back because of my legs, it's good to have that reach adjustable seat, because steering wheel, because then you can bring it quite far back. I will just say, it's got this body colored dashboard, which is kind of cool on this car. Dual zone climate control, a 3.5-inch display here on the center, on the instrument panel, and the 7-inch Uconnect system there with Apple CarPlay, DAB audio, all the rest of it. This particular car, actually I'll come to the options in a minute, but it does have a Beat sound system, so it's pretty good. On the outside you get LED lights, 17-inch diamond cut alloy wheels on this version of the car. Now, the interior is fantastic. Visibility all around is good. The bonnet does slope out of view because of the character line of the Fiat 500. So sometimes it's a little bit harder to place the front, but know that normally there's more space than you think there is. So you're actually fine. No issues around here. The headrests stand up quite a bit, so sometimes you just have to turn around. But this particular car has got reversing camera, and it comes with front sensors. I think they all come with rear sensors as well. The other thing I would say about this car, one little foible of it, it's got one of those indicator stalks, or one of those stalks on the left, that when you go to indicate right, if you don't do it properly, you end up flashing the car in front. And when you've done that, you then flash them again to kind of apologize. Then you realize you've really flashed them twice, and then it's really awkward, because inevitably at the next traffic light you'll end up side by side, and you'll be pretending not to notice them, and they'll be gesturing at you going, dude, what was that all about? And you'll be like, I don't know, what the hell did I do that for? Anyway, Bit of a cold. Anyway, up front here, like I said, dual zone climate control. You've got two USBs here, one to operate the CarPlay. There's an aux as well. This one's got heated seats. 6-speed manual gearbox with a dogleg reverse up there. Automatic handbrake. You have a cubby box there, two glove boxes there, big door pockets here, so plenty of storage. They've thought of all of that, not an issue. Equipment that this car has: lane assist, cruise control, airbags all around, hill hold, tire pressure monitor, start stop, rear parking sensors, as I said. Standard on the road price is $18,995. This particular car's got a bunch of option kits on it: city pack with front sensors and camera, visibility sensor which includes the rain sensor, comfort pack, winter pack with heated seats, active safety pack which got automatic braking and blind spot assist, LED lights. It's got TomTom navigation on it, though I prefer to use the My system through Apple CarPlay. Beats audio, as I said, rear tinted windows and adaptive cruise control. All of that will set you back $22,100. So with the 1 liter 120 brake horsepower engine, am I feeling a real loss in driving it compared to the one I drove before? And remember, that'd be a heavier car with the all-wheel drive. Well, let's find out next. Don't have to put the handbrake off, it just goes off. Once you do that, I have been listening to the stereo. Love those 3-cylinder thrums. There's a lot of 3-cylinder engines coming out now, and you can see the benefits. They're managing to get quite a bit of power out of these engines, whilst at the same time keeping them relatively efficient, both in terms of economy and emissions, but also giving them a bit of personality and a bit of character. So I'm just waiting to pull out onto this little road here. I've been driving this around for a while now on motorways and around town. I have to say they've set it up to be a very, very easy car to drive, even with this manual gearbox. It's very slick shifting, slightly elasticy as they often are with these Fiat products, but no real issue. The reverse, sometimes it takes a little bit of getting used to. It's like that indicator thing, that once you have to get used to it. Once you get your head around it, you're okay with it. Same with that. So quick changing, whilst if you're unfamiliar with the car, can be tricky, but once you're used to it, it's fine. A lot of torque. It's got a shift light on there. It's got a shift light on there, but a lot of torque in the low gears. No issues with performance. You get plenty, and actually the brakes are very, very good as well. Steering is very light. Remember, this car doesn't have modes. I remember the other car I drove, the 4 all-wheel drive one, the 180 horsepower one, did have driving modes, including a sport mode. This one doesn't. It's got one standard setting. So steering is set up quite light, but at the same time makes it quite easy to maneuver, quite easy to handle. But having said that, it's fairly accurate. I haven't really detected any severe understeer or anything like that, even on these wet roads that we've been having. There's been a lot of rain recently, so it hasn't been a problem at all, honestly. And it carries through that kind of Fiat 500 personality of being small, nimble, chuckable, and enjoyable. I think that's the key thing about the car, whilst retaining that personality of the car. But on the motorway, this has actually got active cruise control. Has proved very useful. Excuse me. It cruises really well, and quite comfortably. The ride as well actually is very, very good on this car. I think it's actually even better than the all-wheel drive version, if memory recalls correctly, because this one is very well damped. It absorbs all of the bumps and thumps very easily. You hear it, you don't feel it so much. And the body control also, like we're going through a bunch of S's here. Yeah, I mean, you feel lateral forces, but you don't get any wallow or movement of the body too much. So that's not a problem either. So overall then, it's quite an enjoyable car with the manual gearbox. Despite the fact that it's got 120 horsepower, you're thinking, compared to the other one, it's actually, I would say, it's kind of more fun because you really get to work the gearbox and enjoy it, and yet at the same time you don't lose out on economy because it's got that very tall 6th gear as well. And if you're in 6th gear, it does tell you to shift down, so it actually has a shift down light as well as a shift up light. So overall, big thumbs up for this car. Like I said, this is perfectly and ideally suited for those people that probably had a Fiat 500 and have just outgrown it, or got a little family now and just need a little bit of extra space, but want to still keep that style, that personality, that fun factor of the Fiat 500, then this is definitely the car to get. And especially with the sort of budget we're talking about, not too bad at all. There you go. There's our review of the Fiat 500X. Hope you enjoyed it. Let us know what you think of the review, the car, me, anything else you like in the comments about below, wherever they are. And hope to see you again in the next one.